You guys ready? Are you guys ready for Rocky? Rocky 2, the sequel? So, welcome back, guys. We're back again. Storm here.
Mom here.
Me here.
So we're excited to watch the sequel of Rocky. We saw the first movie not too long ago, and we were blind to it for the most part. I was blind. I believe Mom was pretty much blind, and Kim saw like some of it or something a long time ago. But there were quite a few things you did not remember, so that was pretty cool to watch together. And Sylvester Stallone, love him, and playing Rocky, like love that character, very ambitious, and he honestly in my mind, he won, but I get they changed it up or something at the end of their match last movie. So Apollo won, and Rocky was just calling out for his loved one.
I don't really even think if he cared if he won or not. Right. He did the best he could, and he knew it.
Yeah.
That's right, he did.
And he just wanted the woman. He just called out for Adrian, and that was it. That's all he wanted. First thing.
Yeah, that was very sweet. I love that so much. So I'm hoping that the same characters will be in this movie. I see Rocky right now running down a street, and some of you have been asking us to read the descriptions more for episodes. Like for shows, we tend to stay away from that because they do spoil what's going to happen in the show, but hopefully not in this description. So this one says, in the aftermath of his bout with Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, we love him, Rocky Sylvester Stallone attempts to lead a peaceful life with his new bride, Adrian. The fame and fortune from the match soon runs scarce, and to make ends meet, Rocky agrees to a rematch with Apollo. Ooh, so that's cool. So, again, we saw Carl Weathers' name in this anyway, so we're like, okay, he's going to be in this one too, but I am happy to see that it looks like it's going to continue the story.
And I think it would be good because it's good for Apollo to do that because Rocky gave him a very good fight.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, that was amazing.
It did not look like it was a promo like he was giving in. It looked like a pretty good fight. This is fun.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be, I don't know, scary maybe even. Who knows how much they're going to level up on this one. Level up. I'm using my game.
Yeah, or he might cheat. He might cheat.
I hope not. I was happy about Apollo last time because even though I get that he's his opponent and he's all high up there, just he thinks he's better than everyone else kind of thing, and didn't feel like he had to train with Rocky, but then Rocky was a very good match for him. So now it's going to be different because before he was telling these people, I don't have to do anything. What are you talking about? And he kept partying or something, right? Or doing other stuff.
Yeah, he was just promoting himself.
Yeah, just promoting. And Rocky was just training so hard.
No, he wasn't training.
Yeah, so now
training.
I bet you he's going to train a lot this time.
I bet you.
So that'll definitely be fun. And off topic, guys, because we do have a YouTube store where we sell merchandise, and I only have my logo and maybe a couple sayings, phrases that we've said in the past, as actual shirts. And I really need to revamp that whole thing because I am an artist and I love drawing, and just the editing part of the channel I just am consumed by, and I love it. But I really want to start making merchandise, and then that way we could wear it and have fun with it too. But I have so many cool ideas. So if you guys want to start just dropping cool ideas that you would love to see in a shirt or a mug or something, let me know because I could draw a ton of things, and I miss doing that. I just haven't done it in so long. The great part is our thumbnails. I'm finally putting some of my skills into that because I do all our thumbnails, and some are better than others because depending on how much time I have to put into it. But anywho, my little ramble. So anything that helps support the channel.
Buy some.
I know you guys are so good because I have the logos on there right now, just of our typical channel logo. They give you selection to choose what kind of shirts you would like, and sometimes I'll see a shirt that I really like online because I like my graphic cartoon shirts and whatnot, and it'll only come in one style, and it's usually a style I don't want. It's something else. So I'm like, wow, how cool would it be to have multiple options? But then when you have the same logo on 50 shirts, it completely just takes over your whole store. That's the only thing people see. So I gotta revamp that and change it up and just have one type of shirt or two types for the logo. And I love drawing. I'm really good at I can do people as well, but I have kind of a Disney type style, and even Warner Brothers I adapt. And anyways, that would be a lot of fun.
Well, I have to give you a plug because I saved all your cards, even when you were a kid.
Oh, birthday cards.
Birthday cards, all kinds of cards. I have a pile of them. I love your artwork.
Thank you. I love drawing. I've drawn all my life.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I don't have as much. I have my, sketch pads and stuff here, but I love it. And honestly, guys, and just blabbing again, I have friends that are artists that sometimes think they're not good, and they are really good. And just never give up. Just draw when you have time. If you're bored, especially, I know it's hopefully towards the end of the pandemic. I'm trying to cross my fingers here, but I know a lot of us have more free time on our hands, staying home more. So just make time to draw. Get a sketchbook and just doodle. Even if you are like blank and you don't have any inspiration, just start drawing, because you can come up with the coolest pictures just on a whim. And sometimes not, but I think it's a good way for therapy reasons too, to really just help relax and express yourself. And so I used to love doing that, and I'm hoping, I know our store will really be a positive thing, especially for me, and hopefully helping us out financially so we can keep creating. And you guys are wonderful for helping us out on our Patreon as well. That kind of dipped down a lot since last year, but I understand that it's hard for a lot of people, but we're still taking on more because we still want to keep everyone happy who is supporting us on Patreon, absolutely. And we love all you guys on YouTube. We do a lot of things volunteer as well, just to keep us going, so that would really be awesome if we could start doing merchandise to have another avenue. So, anywho, guys, I love these boxing gloves, and I think we should get into Rocky 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we need to do different noises. No, I'm just kidding. I like these. All right, so we were watching on Amazon today. All right, Rocky 2.
What do you think you're doing for like the next 40 or 50 years?
No.
You wouldn't mind marrying me very much.
Oh, sweet.
That's right.
Hey,
It's just like,
we're getting married, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'll send you an invitation, Mr. Tyson.
he's walking it all
That's right. Look at it.
special like this.
Could you get down? Go on.
It's like he has a dog, of course.
I drive airplanes and bulldozers. I drive you crazy.
Oh, no, so...
I drive you
Oh
crazy.
my God.
Some planes.
Oh boy. Whoa, he knows how to drive.
Oh, he's going too
Oh,
crazy.
she doesn't want to do that. She's,
It's kind of expensive.
yeah, she doesn't want to do that.
You're a fake. The fight was a fake. Go kill yourself.
Wouldn't you rather play with the children
Oh
than read hate
my
people?
gosh, I
terrible.
hate
How much did you get to carry?
Oh, OBGYN, speaking of kids.
that.
Yeah?
She's smiling.
Yes.
Yo, Adrian, you did it!
You did it. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a good somebody like you.
Oh.
Like you.
Oh,
Like you.
Like
They're
you.
so
good
cute
guy,
together.
too. He is so cute.
Yo, Adrian. Adrian, how do I look?
Different.
Sensation.
Different.
Oh, my God.
Oh my
Flintstone.
goodness.
And it makes me smell mainly.
Smeal mainly?
Oh, we can't read.
Oh.
Oh.
Can you read that right?
Arthur,
jeez.
step out.
It's fake.
What the
Feast after shave, the contender takes
Well,
up.
just read it off the dummy cards.
guy?
Dummy cards.
Please, go on.
Oh,
she's
don't
taking
call
that
him that.
personal.
It's just the name of it.
I'd like to explain something.
Oh, you got better job. Nope.
Oh,
Talk too soon.
Boy.
He's home.
Yeah.
Gotta let you go.
Oh, no.
What?
You gotta cut back on manpower and you ain't got enough time in, you know? Senor.
Oh, shucks.
It's just Mickey.
my
It's
God.
just Rocky.
Ooh.
Because your fighting career is over, kid.
Is that right?
Oh, he's so caring.
You know, I spent my whole life getting a career. I get one, and you told me it's over. If I can't fight no more, maybe I can help out around here, you know?
All right, kid. Will you come back tomorrow, huh?
Thanks, I'm
That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Stallion chicken. Oh.
Selling chicken, oh boy.
Plus now he's going to be working around there.
but now I'm ready to have a rematch. Does not have the skill to last 5 minutes in the ring with a superior athlete like me. The man's running, the man's
Oh, you're pushing it.
Where is Rocky Balboa? I'm Remmelsberger.
Oh boy, you
Fired up.
Oh.
I think we ought to knock his block off.
Oh wow, you're going on. Oh, God.
So I don't know, he looks pretty mad. Me and Mick, we're gonna try our best.
As long as he's
so
gonna
humble.
punch out.
What do I gotta chase a chicken for? It's embarrassing, you know?
You catch this thing, you can catch grease lightning. Ready?
That's great. I love it.
It's a good workout. We should do that.
It is.
Although I don't want to give the chicken a heart attack.
That poor chicken.
Jab it till it hurts. Go ahead.
It's gonna have a heart attack.
What was I, 7 or 8?
Come on, you gotta ease up on these farm partners.
You just get me another man.
Wow, he's got like a practice ring right in his house.
Yeah.
I was knocking people out.
Oh, boy, you better be careful.
No, stop. My water broke.
Yo, Adrian, where are you?
Oh, he better
Oh,
take it easy
boy,
on
I
her.
hope-
I
my
know.
God.
He gets so nasty too.
Oh,
So sensitive.
He's got the squad.
You
What the
don't do
hell is he
that.
doing to
oh,
her?
come on. What the heck's the matter with him?
guy when he needs your help.
What are you doing?
Oh, oh boy.
Your wife's sick.
Oh, oh boy.
If he knew
What'd
what
you do,
Polly
Polly?
did to him.
Yeah?
Your wife was hemorrhaging when she was brought in now, and the sudden loss of blood has caused her to slip into a coma.
Oh my God.
Oh, my
crying
God.
out loud. Oh.
It sounds like you're very sick, but don't worry about nothing. You just sleep as long as you want, okay?
Oh, it's
I'm gonna be here when you wake up. Remember when we was on ice skates? And I thought you were supposed to be great. And you kept trying to slip so I could catch you. That was our first date. And I'll always be there to catch you.
he's so
That's so cute.
She's moving.
Well, I was going to say, I was wondering, okay. Oh, that's cute.
Call the nurse.
Oh, there
Oh,
we go.
remember this
Good.
actress?
Oh,
It's cute.
oh.
Wow, look at that head of hair.
Hey, wow.
These little boxing gloves.
Good.
yeah, right, little mittens.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want you to do for me. Win.
Win.
There you go. That's the drive he
Okay.
needed.
That's what he needs.
What are we waiting
Yeah.
for?
My
There
God,
you
he's right
go.
there.
That's what he needed.
This kid's getting a good workout
Guys, I
too.
mean,
Whoa, he's going back and forth. Oh, watch your
what
teeth.
the-
You just slap him.
My gosh.
Get this.
Oh,
Just don't break its neck.
Oh, we got the chicken.
Don't bite it or anything. And then the baby.
Oh,
Oh God, yes, hair's so fuzzy.
look at him.
A local hero. That's great. Good exercise.
Oh wow, look at everyone.
Look at- wow, look at the wall.
Wow.
Wow, hey.
Oh my God.
Oh, look at the wall.
Where'd all our kids go?
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
There they are.
What a
Wow.
build up. Woo. There you
Wow.
go. Woo. Girl.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Oh, he's
Yes,
so
yes.
just do that.
So he's like, good, I'm ready.
yeah,
Close the window and watch your fight.
Whoa, whoa.
Ooh, ooh, right away.
Oh, God, right to it. You know what? Get his ribs again. No.
Whoa.
Oh, crap. Come on.
Mm. Don't let him do
Those
that.
jabs.
Come on.
Ooh,
Don't you touch him.
Oh, come on.
Don't do low blows.
Oh, we want to make that.
Wow. Like no chances.
No. Yeah, right.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, right in the eye.
Damn, that was it.
Oh,
Not
another
again.
one.
Oh no, Rock.
Now we can't see.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Rock is gonna go down. He's gonna go down.
He's gonna keep going for it.
Oh,
Son of a gun. Come on, Rock.
Oh,
He can't do anything.
No.
That's it.
Nobody. Oh my God! Look at his
My
eye.
God, look at him. Oh God. Ooh.
Yeah.
Get him. Get it.
Get that lefty.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
Get that lefty.
Oh, yes. Whoa.
He doesn't even have
Get him
anything.
one more time. Yes, you got it. That's one last.
Yep.
Oh, they're both
They
falling.
both went down.
Oh my goodness.
Just lost his balance.
Is it going to
Get
be
up,
another
Rock.
tie?
Get up, Rock.
Come on.
Come on.
Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Okay.
Get up, get up,
Get
get
that butt
up.
up.
No.
Get your butt up. Apollo's got it.
He's going to fall.
Nope. Rocky got it.
Who's up? Yes. Whoa.
Wow, that was insane.
That was-
My
Oh,
God.
Apollo's going to
Yay,
be
Rocky.
ripping out.
And hopefully your eyesight will be okay.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh, I like that image.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
Whoa, that was.
I really enjoyed that a lot.
Whoa.
I love the first one, but this one really got to me. Like, this was so exciting.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was
my
right up
tissues.
there. It was almost like
That was really wow.
it was almost like one huge movie, like all together. You know, it was just so.
Oh, it was so much.
There's no
wow.
comparison to me. I think they both were phenomenal.
They were very good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I really
God.
enjoyed both
Oh,
movies.
so
And again, the
emotional.
first movie is always like usually better
Yes.
because you're getting introduced to the characters and they're getting established, you know, but the romance, there was a good like balance of everything. Yeah.
Yes,
So I
it was
really
very
enjoyed that
good.
a
My
lot.
gosh, it was.
The romance was
Oh.
wonderful. I love how in love they both are.
They were-
You
they're
know, like
so
that was
good.
great to
Oh,
see
my
that
God.
in A Happy Life. And I thought from the start when he had that money from the first fight that he started spending it like crazy.
Oh, I was afraid
and
for that.
yeah, just like, oh, well, I'll just use the money I make in the future from commercials to actually
Right,
pay
and
for
that's
other stuff.
fun.
So don't worry. I'm like, that's not a good way to go about
No.
finances. So thank goodness. I mean, like, they still did it, but thank goodness his wife was like, well, you know, you got to watch out for this. And
It's good for her.
she
you
was
know,
more
if you
worried
have
about
to.
it. But I thought that was going to be a huge, I mean, it was a good focus on this, but it wasn't like the main focus.
Yes.
So I thought they were going to actually have hard times and fight and
because
not
of
do
that.
well and separate or something because of that issue. And then he was going to go back into fighting with her on the side. But she was supportive the whole entire time.
she
She
was.
was,
Oh,
and
she
you know,
was great with each other.
he never like wallowed in his pity. Like after he couldn't do
Never.
the commercials,
No, he was always
and they
upbeat.
ridiculed him. You know, he couldn't read,
That's
and then
right.
the locals were teasing him. He just never gave up, especially when she said, "No, you need to win." After she got out of
That's
the
right,
coma,
yes.
and he never lost his faith with her.
Oh yes, he
Yeah.
was right there
Always
by
there
her
with
side, all through her coma and everything else, and reading to her and everything.
He's
That
a
was
good
so
guy,
good.
like always very sweet. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have the education. Oh, mom! I know mom
He
really
was so
loved the movie.
sweet.
Yeah, he was so sweet. I really saw, like, I got into it a lot. I saw you guys crying a lot. You really
yeah,
got
absolutely.
into it, and it was really hitting you hard. And I was shocked when she went into a coma about the whole thing. I mean, she's been stressed. She's been working really hard. And I kept blaming Paulie for it because how he
Yes.
aggressively went in. You don't slap things out of her hand. I get you're mad.
Of
And
course
he
not.
does care for Rocky. I know that she loves Rocky. And I think Paulie, I don't know if he loves him or not, but being a good friend of his. But he's a little messed up, Paulie. So
He is. He's too rough with his sister.
yeah, he has anger problems. And you don't physically do that to
don't
anyone.
do that.
But she's also pregnant. So yeah, you don't start to get physical like that. So that sent her
that
over
was
the
not good.
edge. And that
Yes.
wasn't good. So I'm glad she was
Right,
able
and
to come
lifting
out
all
of the
those
coma.
things that
Oh, that was yes.
that did
Definitely
bring her
not.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a brother, you don't do that to your pregnant
No, you
sister.
don't.
Come on,
I know,
buddy.
but he gets so emotional that he just doesn't like realize what he's doing, I guess. But yeah, you don't slap her around or stuff. I know he slapped the thing out of her hand, but yeah, so that was not cool. But I love Adrian's character because she is very supportive. She's a strong person. I know roles are different, so many years ago, and she's more of a housewife kind of thing. But she wanted to work too to help him out. She wasn't like, well, you promised that you could do all this. Look at all this money you just spent. Why can't you just keep up what you said you were going to do? Like, here I'm pregnant.
No,
she was totally
good
and positive too. I mean, she was definitely more realistic when it came to finances. But she was like,
more
okay,
practical.
Yeah.
And she was more like, okay, well, what can I do to help out? Even pregnant, she was just like, and again, times were different back then. Nowadays, I have friends, like a lot of people who
I worked until I was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's right.
2 weeks before, not even like a week.
Yeah, and you still have to be careful. Like, you can't like lift really heavy things all the time and do a lot of physical activities. Like, you still have to be careful with that. And she couldn't help that. Like, she had a job that had labor involved in it, so she had no choice in that matter. But oh my God, what a good movie though. So I'm glad she stuck by Rocky, and Rocky was very caring, and he loved fighting though. That's his true person. Like, that's his nature. And he respected his wife, and he didn't want to do it because he kind of cares about his health, but the passion's so strong that you don't think about that. Like, he wants to go back in, and he accepted it just because she didn't want him doing it because of his health. And I didn't really see it.
And he was cool with working at the meat packing company. He was cool with trying to make other means of making money, but it just didn't work out. I mean, it wasn't his fault. He got laid off, so
that's right.
But he was trying to even work where they practice. He didn't care if he had to go empty spit buckets, and he didn't care.
And honestly, too, I was very impressed by that as well, because there's so many different kinds of people out there. Absolutely. And people struggle in different ways. And sometimes they have no control over it. And other times it can lean many ways, where I know a lot of people who, they work hard, but they're very picky on what jobs they'll take, and instead of accepting certain jobs, even if they have no choice, they'll just go on unemployment just because it's just easier. But back then, who knows like how things were. Not that everyone can't get unemployment. I'm not saying that's easy or anything, but to actually keep going, and doesn't matter what kind of job you have, and you'll pack meat, you'll do, and not trying to judge that either, but I'm saying like you have these lower end jobs, a janitor or stuff like that, like you'll do anything to make sure you can pay your bills.
Yeah, no problem. He sold his car right away, which was really good.
Definitely.
To Polly. That was good. I mean, he saw it coming down the road where I can't make these payments.
Well, it's good that he realized that too,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I loved the conversation with him and Mickey when he came back to see if...
Which one?
Mickey, Mickey.
The one when he came back with the dog to see if he can work at the boxing ring, if he can work there at the workout center. He went there, and I love that conversation because Mickey said, "You can do it. You can get this guy."
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He just said it,
I like it when Mickey first went into his house, knocked, and he said, "We got to get this guy," or whatever he said. And then Adrian's in the background, and he's like, "Oh,
I love Mickey. How he is. He's real strong, and he's
my God! I thought he was
I know he gets so. I wouldn't even do it because I'll start coughing, but he has such a growly, aggressive voice, and he's so driven, and I love it because it's so motivational. But he gets so aggressive, and he gets so angry when he talks. But Rocky needs that because he's a good balance with him, because he's calm for the most part. Yes, Rocky was getting upset and taking it out on his equipment and a few other times, but he honestly, with everything he's dealt with, he handles things really well, but he needs that kind of training with Mickey where it really sinks in and he gets it and he focuses better, But he's driven anyways.
Definitely.
He is. And Mickey likes to use that reverse psychology. And sometimes it doesn't work on Rocky because he really thinks that. He's so innocent. He really thinks that. He's like, well, maybe I am not really good.
I know, he gets so literal that way.
Yes. And it wasn't until
what do you mean by that?
when Adrian finally got out of her coma and said, you need to win. I mean, I thought he was going to go through the roof. He's like,
I think that was a great part because I was like, I just did not expect her to be in a coma. Thank God that was it, because I actually thought for a moment, I assumed that, of course, there's a few other movies, I don't know how many more, but I'm like, okay, well, we know Rocky's gonna be okay. I don't know if he's gonna be blind fully in one eye next time or something, but I just assumed his family would be there, that his wife would be there, and I'm like, oh, crap, and then I got scared when they were like, okay, building it up. Is she in a coma? What happened? She had complications or something. And I know that that scene was supposed to like build it up for us. But when the doctor said that and then paused for so long, like there's been some complications. Like there was a lot of seconds after that. Like you just don't say that. I mean, you want the the loved one to like absorb what you're saying, but you didn't actually say what was going on. Like I would be like, oh, complication. Is she bleeding out? Is she gonna die? Like, can you finish that sentence, please? Yeah. But that was build up for us to be like, wait, what did she say? And then Rocky to feel that too. So at that moment, I was scared. I'm like, are they gonna freaking kill her in this movie? That's gonna be so sad because now he has to like take care of a kid and try to do his dream. I mean, like. He loves his family, and I know he would absolutely take his child over fighting, but with struggling with finances and stuff, it was just like, oh my God, like all these things getting thrown at him. Like, how are we ever going to even get to the fight at this point? Again, like, not trying to make that sound bad, but that's right, so I was very scared for her. So her waking up in that moment, and that was one of the few words she said, like, you have to win. Yeah, that was amazing to just start it off in that forward, strong direction of yes. So that's what he needed because he accepted it. Like, she wasn't a bully about it. She wanted him to be healthy, and she loved him and wanted the best for him too. And
she's going to have a baby, and she wants him to be alive and healthy, raising this child with him.
Yeah, to be a family.
When she finally said when, and he went on his regimen of exercise.
He sure did. Boy, he
going around town with all the kids following him.
That was great.
I love that scene so much. That was great. I was joking. I'm like, where are the adults too? But I know, like, oh, adults don't do that. But like Forrest Gump, how like he has all these followers following him. But I love how many kids, like more and more as it went on.
And he was a great role model. That's just goes to show you, he's a great local role model.
That was wonderful. And then going up the steps, that one final hurrah, like that was perfect to tie that all in.
Yes.
I joked about it. I'm like, we need to see that, but I wasn't sure if we were going to get that. So that was wonderful.
And when they were doing the fight, they kept cheering him on. Rocky,
yes.
Rocky. That was
right
cheering him on.
Even like the later rounds, they were still cheering him on.
That was huge. And speaking of cheering, because I know that Apollo was so obsessed with winning. I get it. But even when he was training, he kept hearing Apollo in his head because he's had it. Of course, he was so famous.
I was so naive. I'm like, oh, is he playing music?
I know, Apollo, he's like selling into himself, like, yeah, that's me. But, it was a great movie, and in the first one with Apollo, again, like, he didn't seem like a villain. He wasn't a villain in this one, but he was so obsessed with winning that he was just going, like, down a low path just to be, like, rude and... just to really just take these low blows and really try to hurt Rocky to bring him out.
And you can see it in his eyes, too, the way he was looking at him.
And his people there, like, who were they? Like, the financial guy and, his trainer, coach. And it's like... they're telling him you should just let it go and move forward, but he just couldn't. And just rambling really quick too, like that's scary because I did a lot of research when we started the channel, and with bullying and stuff, like, it could happen anywhere. And with people who are famous who get all kinds of mail, I mean, you get more mail now. You get physical mail, emails, messages on social media. And people can be very violent. People can be scary. They could say terrible things, like kill yourself. Like, really? It's awful. And I know we all know that, but it's like you tend to forget unless it happens to you. And I'm lucky it hasn't happened to me, but just wow. And you can get absorbed by it. So just going on YouTube and reading comments, we have a wonderful fan base. Thank God. So thank you guys. But now and again, we'll get some weird, crazy comment, which I just delete. But... and I'll, like warn YouTube about it or something, but that's so rare, and that can happen to anyone. And some people really just get pulled in and obsessed over it, and you can't do that. And it's easier said, but if that's your career, you gotta let things go because that will just pull you down a dark path. And it'll be so unhealthy, you know, just mentally.
That's right. Yeah, and Apollo's wife kind of was trying to tell him that, just let it go. His coach, his trainer was trying to tell him that, just let it go.
Like some people just get so stuck with it, you can't. And especially when it's like sent to you personally. Like if it's on something digital, like online or something, like yes, that's still terrible. But I don't know, actually having a physical letter mailed to your house has
from
more
another
effort.
Country, like
and
another.
Back then they didn't have all of this, but you know, but having that would just be like, holy crap, like more of an impact, you know, just
and on top of it, he knew in his heart that Rocky won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure he did. That's
and
why
I think he wanted to satisfy himself.
Yeah,
saying,
he did.
No, I'm gonna bring him down.
Because even his own guys there were just like, you couldn't tell him. And then said, just back away, just walk away from it and move on.
He should have let it go.
And Rocky is a fan of his. You can see the respect Rocky had for Apollo.
Yeah, and that made him look worse. That made Apollo look worse. Because, like, here Apollo's like, I'm angry. And he goes, I don't care if some of you don't like me. And, you know, I got to make this right and show you guys that I'm the better one, blah, blah, blah. And then Rocky's being all cool about it. And he's like, oh, well. And he's saying things which, like, normal citizens, well, not normal citizens, but, like, the middle class would say, and the poor class, I guess. And, you know, like, because we've struggled a lot, too, growing up. But it's just like he's saying all the things that we can relate to. And he's like, yeah, well, the first thing I'm going to do is this. I got to pay my rent. Like, that's the first thing we would say. When we talk about winning the lottery, because that's always fun, even though it's probably never, ever going to happen. We're like, the first thing we would do is pay off our debt, pay our rent, you know, pay what we got to pay first. And then I have other friends who are like, oh, I'm going to buy, and they'll talk about something like $1 million right away. They're just going to spend. That's something you don't need.
When I'm like,
I want to pay for, I just want to be comfortable. I want to be financially set. You know, I don't have to live in a, you know, huge, wonderful, rich life or anything. I just want to be comfortable and not always have debt over my head. So it's just interesting, like how he's just hanging out and he's just talking like everyone else, so everyone can relate, and they're laughing with him. When you hear, you know, Apollo, I forget what they were saying, but they were like quieter and kind of like, you know, talking over each other, asking them questions. And then with Rocky, it was a little quieter, and people are actually listening, taking it in, and laughing.
Yes.
So that was wonderful
they
to
can
see.
Relate
so people
to
were
him.
really enjoying his conversation and really like bonding with him almost, and that's how he started getting more of a fan base, I think, because people just know he's more
he's real
normal.
He's real,
and
he's relatable.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's not about revenge and, you know, anger and trying to prove something, you know.
And Apollo, you know, right off the bat with news and with TV and the newspapers and getting the locals all riled up.
Yep. I'm glad to see Apollo like dressed down a little bit, like he had a normal robe and stuff instead of like that whole get up last time, which I want you. Like that was so funny though, because that's what he was about, and he really thought he had it last time. So, and it was his event, so it was just like very different this time. But I gotta say, I was really into this fight. The last one in the first movie was great, but I was more into this one than that one. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Like,
I think we were. Yes, I was really into it too.
Yeah, and please leave your comments below too. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Please no spoilers for future movies, because this one won a poll on our Patreons. We have polls on our Patreon every Monday if you want to check that out. Almost every Monday, but the first Monday we usually just say if you want to request on this certain post, and we can like log everything. And but so we'll probably watch more down the road, and I'm really curious like what movie you like best, or at least 1 and 2. Which one did you guys like best, you know? So what did you guys like? I'll ask you.
I like both of them, but
it was hard.
It was really hard.
I liked the first, you know, there's different reasons. We learned about the characters, the first movie, but this one kind of was like a little bit better.
I liked it more too.
Only because we already knew the characters and we knew what he was already going through. It pulled on my heart more.
That's right.
Especially when people were ridiculing him for like the director for the reading, and
that killed me.
That killed my heart. I'm
I didn't like
this guy is like a celebrity locally. You should make him practice at home. You know,
that's right. Not to
he didn't know. I mean, like I was thinking with Rocky that like he wouldn't know how to go about that. He's never done commercials before.
He's an athlete.
I was kind of hoping that there would be some middle person there to be like, oh well, and Rocky would be like, oh, I can't read well. Like, how would I do this? Like, improvise or words were just going to be shouted at me to repeat back. Like, he had no clue, so he was very innocent going in. But I wish he could have said beforehand, "Oh, I don't read too well, so can you just help me out or give me
a different way?"
Yeah, or say like, you know what? I know like they already set up everything. They got his makeup on. The set was there, but I wish they could have like been like, okay, the first hour, let's just scrap this and here study this. And then come back here.
That's right.
But I get it because time is money, and
time is money.
They didn't expect him not to read correctly, and he was cool the whole time. Rocky was very calm, and he was very open at that. And even like talking back to that main director guy, he was like, "Listen, I'm really trying hard here," and he goes, "You're just really rude and just yelling at me all the time, so it doesn't help." And he could only deal with professionals. He kept shouting, but it was good that Rocky's real that way, and he's like, "No," he's like, "Oh my God,
innocent." He goes back to. I keep saying it, but it's so true. He's so innocent. He just tells it like it is. You're being really rude to me. I mean, here's this big guy. I mean,
that's one thing too. Yeah,
you know, and
you don't want to judge that, but I was thinking that too.
Yeah, he's just so sweet. He's just
he is.
He's a sweet man.
Yeah, very big contrast of like a huge, crazy fighter, like a good fighter.
Like what are you talking about? You know,
and then he's so gentle-hearted and caring. You know,
he is.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good father.
He's going to be a good father. I love his little boy.
Yes,
so cute.
Baby. So cute. I love that hair.
Just a quick little thing, but it was just so funny with like the sexist things that would take place, like some of the goofy things about like, oh, wow, I didn't know she had it in her to have a boy or something. Like, I kept hearing these comments, and I'm like, oh, yeah, come on. I got to be manly about it and have a boy. I just love
the
how...
male determines the sex. Remember that.
But again, like, it's no, like, I'm not offended or anything, but it is different now. So when you hear things like that, it just stands out more. But Paulie was better in this one, too, because he was so aggressive and abusive towards his sister. I really didn't like that. And
I did not like it at all.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. There's just no reason. I'll just put it like that. And I try to have an open mind to see everyone's story. And sometimes there's no excuse for bad behavior like that, when people make those excuses.
That's right. And are you really there for us, or are you there for, a kickback later on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is being supportive, you should be a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
If you're truly supportive of a loved one or a friend, you got to be more caring.
Yeah.
And it was good. I'm glad they got married and they were away from that whole scenario with Paulie. Yeah. And he seemed to be doing okay. He seemed to be doing a lot better than the first movie and he lost weight and stuff. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. I got to say, this was definitely my favorite Rocky movie. I did like the first one. This one I was more into, and maybe because of the romance too, but I felt like it was more wholesome. And Rocky was driven almost like the first one too, where he had to really train hard, and him going from like this family guy, leaving that behind him to retrain. It was almost like that same ambition again to let's go, but it wasn't the exact same way about it. The emotions were different because he was willing to just give it up for his wife and his health, but really because his wife cares about his health. But so I just liked this better. I just had a lot more feeling during it, and then the match was just incredible because they were both like serious about it, and they were both equally matched.
It was great. Apollo gave him a really good fight, man.
Insane.
Oh my God.
The countdown at the end when he's like 1, 2, 3, or count up, and it's like, oh my
gosh, yes.
And I actually I was saying to myself, like on round 10 or 11, I'm like, well, even if Rocky loses, like it looked like it was gonna at that point, I was like, he's got to get some kind of big kickback. He's got to get like $100,000 or something. So he'll be doing okay for a while, because I was actually thinking, I'm trying to talk to myself, like, he's going to be okay. He's going to make some kind of money. He'll be okay for a while. But
then taxes and all that, like you were saying before, it's like, oh my God. But you just kind of wish that would be it, because the first time was enough, and more than enough, because he almost lost all his vision.
Oh my gosh, I kept
hitting it.
All the time. I was getting so frustrated because it was like nonstop, but that's how boxing is, I guess. Like he was determined too, and very good fight, very insane. And again, Apollo, I really did like his character a lot, and I didn't see him as a full villain. I wasn't trying to say it like that, but I felt like he had more dark intentions this one, because he was so angry at the responses and how the fight went down last time. Because don't believe that he truly won.
Definitely.
So he was definitely more shady that way. But I still felt bad. Of course, I didn't want to see either of them like getting the crap beat out of them. I know it's a movie, jokingly, because I know some might be like, oh, it's just a movie. But in real life, you're thinking like, holy crap, like this probably happens in boxing.
Yeah,
people
sure
probably die from it. And
definitely.
just to do that all the time. So I felt bad seeing both their faces like crushed in and just swollen and all that. And just to always have that in your career to constantly go back. And you're going to have like major brain trauma, head trauma, and all kinds of
concussions,
issues.
Yeah,
so that's like a short life, So just like really makes you think like, holy crap, But that is such a passion, like anything where people going skiing or any extreme sports and they almost die and then they still go right back into it because that's like their passion and they don't want to give that up. That's what makes them who they are.
That's their being, yeah. And I'm wondering if, even Rocky, to the end, he was still like cool with Apollo. So I'm wondering how the relationship is going to be going forward. You said there's
Fingers
more.
Crossed. I hope so. And he even like rubbed his head too, right? Apollo rubbed Rocky's head. Yeah, so that was great to see that. So he was very mature about it too. I mean, you were supposed to do certain things, I guess, like shake hands or something after certain fights or whatever.
You're supposed to do that,
he seemed cool with it. Like he was like, holy crap, like this was a crazy match. So wow, insane. But yeah, so I know there's a few movies. I don't know. I think they maybe changed up the names. I did see scrolling for Rocky 2 that there was a Rocky 3. I don't know what the other movies are called, but a few fans have said that there were quite a few. And a while ago, because I didn't know, there is a movie called Creed out, and I think that Creed. Not Creed out, but there's a movie called Creed, and which makes sense now. But I didn't know at the time because that was before we watched Rocky. So I put that on our poll on Patreon, and a lot of people were like, "You never saw Rocky, you can't put Creed on there." And I'm like, and I thought Creed was Assassin's Creed. That's what I thought that was. So I was like, I didn't know. So because again, we're blind to everything. Everything we watch on the channel, it's just we're usually blind to it most times, and we have fun.
It was a very good movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
This was a big joy for me. I really enjoyed this a lot.
Really
and
good.
Rocky is just so sweet and so freaking positive.
And
I know I annoy some people, but that was
he and Adrian are so good with each other.
They were. They are.
Now they have a cute little baby boy.
And I bet you that rooster's going to be in the house too now. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's good. We have to do that. Chase some chickens. I don't want to give him a heart attack.
They are hard to catch.
Oh, Mom would know, yes, because you grew up on a farm.
Yes.
Did you chase a lot of chickens, Mom?
We had a big chicken run, and boy, there was a lot of them.
Yeah, did you have to go run and catch them?
Yeah, you had to be careful, though. They could peck at your eyes.
Yeah, so you have to, like, hold them away. Yeah, because, like, I automatically think, oh, they're tiny, you can just hold them away, but they have long necks and stuff, so when you go like this and they're flapping, I wouldn't want to. So, anywho, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please check out our Patreon. That helps us out a lot. And we'll see you very soon, as always. Bye, guys.